Hello there and welcome to the Brentford versus Liverpool preview. It takes place tomorrow at 5:30. Liverpool are travelling to Brentford for this game and it's going to be a difficult game, I believe. I think it's a game that we can win, that we should win, but I also don't think it's going to be a walk in the park either. Let me know what you think ahead of this game, what you thought about it and what you think we're going to get from Brentford, because I'll give you my thoughts briefly on what I think we're going to get from Brentford from what I've seen. And I've only seen a couple of games. I saw the opening game of the season because they were the very first game of the Premier League season this year against Arsenal, and they were relentless. They didn't come into this league to just sort of sit back, soak up pressure against big teams or big name teams with history and such like that. They don't seem to care who many teams are, and that they will just go at them and do their very best to attack them, be relentless, driving all the time, and that seems to be what we're getting from Brentford at the moment. And obviously you've got the big player that everyone talks about is Ivan Toney, and with good reason as well. He's a big physical unit, but he's quick. He's got a good vision for a pass as well. He can hold up the ball, but he can also get in behind if he needs to, use his physicality to bully people around him, also get himself a little bit in the air as well, but can also find himself out wide if need be because he's that quick, and provide a pass in. For their last game, I genuinely cannot remember who it was he passed to or who they were playing against, but I think they won the game 3-0, and the pass that he put into the box was very, very nice indeed. It's a very, very attacking lineup. It's a very attacking team, and I think that's what they're going to do to us. And with the way that we play ourselves, we could end up with what we get when we come up against Leeds. So like when we came up against Leeds last time, it was our quality that overcame them. And I think that that could be the same, similar sort of situation that we find ourselves in, hopefully, when we come up against Brentford at the weekend. Now, there are some injury updates as well. Not necessarily great, to be honest. We've got to call it as it is. With Thiago looking like he's not going to be back until after the next international break, which means that he could look up to meaning that he's going to miss about 3 games. Naby Keita's not going to be ready for this game, and it could extend for longer as well. And I'm not entirely sure on the situation with Bobby Firmino, whether he's back or not. I'm assuming that he's not back. So there's 3 players there that we're missing for this game ahead anyway, but we will still be able to field a very, very strong team. I'm going to run you through the team that I think it will be at the moment. It's basically the same sort of team that we've been playing with for the last couple of weeks, except there's going to be a change in midfield. Now, you can either put Curtis Jones in there alongside Fabinho and Henderson. You could put Milner there as well. I've got no problem with that either. Or you could put Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, James Milner. Not bad options in my opinion. I think with what we're going to be coming up against in this game, I kind of would like to go with James Milner, to be honest. But I don't know whether he's going to get ran ragged in the midfield as well with the intensity. I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm really not saying that he can't do it. And if he gets put in that midfield alongside Henderson and Fabinho, I'm quite happy with it, to be honest. But I'm looking at, like, is it going to be Curtis Jones or is it going to be Oxlade-Chamberlain? And for me, it looks like it would be Curtis Jones as a starting player and Oxlade-Chamberlain to come on and maybe affect something a little bit later. And I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. Whoever we put in that midfield, I'm quite confident that we'll do okay, at least. If not, we'll do well. The rest of the team pretty much speaks for itself with Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson, Henderson, Fabinho, Curtis Jones in my opinion, but it could be anybody in that 3rd spot in the midfield. And then the front 3, you pretty much know who it's going to be. Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota and Mohamed Salah as well. The only one that could possibly challenge that role is Takumi Minamino, who since he's come back, and obviously, you know, work screwed me over the other day and I couldn't do a review of the game, the EFL Cup game, the Carabao Cup game, apologies, against Norwich. He played very, very, very well. And I'm so glad that Liverpool didn't end up like loaning him out to Southampton last year and then selling him in the summer. I'm really glad they didn't do that because I still believe we've got a hell of a player in Minamino that can contribute to this team. Whether he's coming from the bench or whether he's starting games, I think that this is going to be the season that we can start to see Minamino making much more of an impact and getting much more minutes at Liverpool as well. He had some well-taken goals against Norwich as well, and people might turn around and say it's only Norwich. They are a Premier League team. It doesn't matter what string, what field of team that they put out. He puts away some good chances, and his composure in the box, especially for his second goal and the third goal overall, was absolutely fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him. But I think in this type of game, depends as well, like whether we're going to see some rotation ahead of, I think, if we got Champions League again next week. Let me just quickly look at that one, because if we have, it might change things just a little bit in terms of the front line. After that, we've got FC Porto, so you could change it. You could see someone like Minamino come in for, say, most likely he's going to sub out either Jota or Mane. He's never really going to sub out Salah in this instance. So it could happen, but I'm going to stick with the fact that it could be Mane, Jota and Salah in the front line. And because of that, I am quite confident with the options that we've got available as well. Yes, we are missing the influential talent of Thiago and also Naby Keita as well, who scored a blinding goal in the Premier League as well in his last game. Really, really good game. Really, really good goal as well. And they will come back, and they will come back fit. And that's great. And what we've got available to us now, coming up against Brentford, we're gonna need the first team to deal with Brentford, in my opinion. You're gonna need your Virgil van Dijk, your Joel Matip, or whoever else. If it's Joe Gomez or Konate, I think at this moment in time, I'm gonna prefer and go on the side of, while he's fit anyway, with Joel Matip. Because he hasn't really put a foot wrong in the Premier League, to be honest. And partnering Virgil van Dijk seems to it brings the best out of everybody around them, but really does bring the best out of Joel Matip as well. And I think, obviously, the danger men, for me, from what I've seen, the former Liverpool player, Sergi Canos, and Ivan Toney are pretty much, and the other guy as well, Umbuemo, if that's his name. I'm not entirely sure if I've said that right as well. The attacking players are going to be, key to Brentford getting anything out of this game as well. I'm not saying that they can't, that they can't defend well, but I'm not sure that they'll have come up against a team like us just yet. And they'll take their intensity, they'll take their pressing. What they'll probably do is exactly what teams like Norwich and Leeds will do. They know that they haven't necessarily got the quality to see out a 90 minutes of just full-on pressing like they would like to. So they will come out the blocks quick. They will come out the blocks quick, and they'll want to attack. First 10, 15 minutes, they're going to come out and they're going to want to attack us, be relentless, and then we're going to have to sort of take over the game. I would be doubtful that Liverpool are going to come out and go hammer and tongs straight away. It'll be almost like the Liverpool team and Klopp are going to assess how Brentford are coming at us, and then it's like a computer. It will program how to combat it, and then we'll start to take over the game. That's how I feel it can go. Obviously, we've seen things like this go wrong for Liverpool in the past, where maybe not everybody's at it. Maybe the, squad fitness and sharpness isn't necessarily there. But I think at this moment in time, we're in a position where we're doing well. We've got good points on the board. We've had some really good results. I think we've scored 3 goals in our last 4 games as well, including the Champions League. So we're at a point where we're scoring goals, we're being creative, we're able to control games, and we're able to maintain a level of intensity throughout 90 minutes very, very well, and able to manage a game a lot better as well. So if we go 1 or 2-0 up, especially at 2-0, we will take the sting out of the game and score another one if we can, but we're not necessarily going to push for it if we don't have to. And that is good game management from Liverpool. What you would normally see would be the old, the heavy metal football when Klopp first came in, especially the first 2 to 3 years. And then after that, it's sort of been like, we can do that, we can still do that, but it's more about managing the game after a certain point, not necessarily wanting to go out there and blitz teams 5, 6, 7-0 or anything like that. I know we did that against Palace last year, but even so, I think people know where I'm coming from with this, is that we will soak up a little bit of pressure, or we will deal with the pressure that Brentford will come out with. We're going to have to deal very, very actively, and Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip will have their hands full with Ivan Toney. But I think if we can limit the chances from, coming up to their forwards, and then we can start creating chances ourselves, getting Salah, Mane, Jota on the ball as well, getting it right into the midfield and sort of trying to win those midfield battles to then advance our way through to the final third. I think once we start getting those chances, then we can hopefully start putting them away. I think the only thing that does concern me a little bit sometimes, and we are fortunate that we've got the likes of Salah and Mane and stuff, and they're actually, you know, they're producing, they're scoring goals and stuff at the moment, is that it is taking us like an average of 25 shots a game or something like that. And we'll have like maybe 6, 7 or 8 on target, and then you're scoring maybe 3 goals. And it's great when you score the 3 goals, but it's having that many chances to score just a couple of goals. It'd be much better, it'd be much more reassuring if we could just be a little bit more clinical. Obviously, if we're having 25 chances, I'm not expecting 25 goals in a game. That's not what I'm saying. It just, you know, it'd be nice to just, you know, I don't know, be a bit more clinical is probably what I'm saying here as well, and hopefully we can be. Maybe I'm making a little bit too much of a team that has just been promoted this season, but I do pay full respect to any team that I look at and I think they're going to be a handful for any team. It's like Leeds last year, they were a handful for a lot of teams. They beat Man City 2-1. I think they took some big points off some teams that you probably wouldn't have thought that they would last year. And I'm on the same sort of situation with Brentford as well. I think they're going to cause problems, and I think that's what they're going to look to do. But I think that we can come out and win this game as well. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Liverpool victory in this game. I'm hoping, like, because the run of clean sheets will end at one point. Well, obviously, we had the draw against Chelsea as well, but, like, keeping so many clean sheets, it can only do us good in the long run, keeping clean sheets. If you're not conceding goals, then you heighten the chance of winning a game, which is always good. But it's not going to be straightforward. It's not going to be easy, and we will have to work very hard. As if, you know, coming up against Brentford, we have to work as hard as if we're coming up against a Man United, a Chelsea, a Man City. That's what we have to do. And I hope that we do it. It's an away game, but I am confident in this team that we can get a 2-0 victory. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below about this game. Are you looking forward to it? Are you a bit nervous for it? Because I'll say I'm a little bit nervous, you know, because I'm nervous before every game. It doesn't matter who we're playing. But I'm confident as well, and I hope that you guys are feeling confident as well. Listen, I'm going to get out of here for now, and I will hopefully get a review out to you, hopefully on Sunday, but I'm not entirely sure. Days are a little bit messed up at the moment, but I will get something out at some point anyway, regardless of whether we win or we lose. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.